Right, India scripted history over the weekend by winning double gold medals at the Chess Olympiad. It's been just a few days since India scripted this incredible chapter. And the Indian contingent have been busy ever since. The team arrived in batches after their triumph in Budapest, and what a warm reception the champions received. Just some beautiful pictures there. The craze to catch glimpses of these stars was unlike ever seen before. From Gukesh to the brother-sister duo of Vaishali and Praggnanandhaa, and of course Captain Srinath Narayan in there too, the grandmasters were welcomed with a lot of enthusiasm. And there seems to be a bit of a pattern here. With every success in the sport, the buzz around chess only has been increasing in India. After every victory, we've seen more number of people getting to know more about these faces, at least wanting to know more, and many more gathering at airports to welcome them back home. When Praggnanandhaa finished as runners-up at the World Cup, and earlier this year when Gukesh won the candidates tournament, each win has drawn more eyeballs than the one before. Here's the difference. While back then it was just about individual achievements, individual glory, this time it was about India shining as a nation and the country dominating the rest of the world in the sport. And as expected, the reception was bound to be bigger because the success wasn't an easy one to come. Around 190 nations competing for those gold medals in the men's and women's categories, only for India to take that away. The tournament featured chess giants like America, China, Uzbekistan, to name a few. This was no mean achievement. It's nothing short of a World Cup win or a gold at the Olympics. No wonder some of the biggest names in chess, like world number 2, Hikaru Nakamura, chess legend Gary Kasparov, and former world champion Susan Polgar, are calling India a chess giant. The highlight there in those bunch of comments has to be that of Polgar's. She stated that this Indian team is going to dominate for many years to come, and this is just the beginning, which may be true in so many ways because it's not just about the dominance of these athletes that they've displayed so far. Age is on their side. The Indian men's team at the Chess Olympiad had 2 teenagers in Gukesh and Praggnanandhaa. We know what they're capable of. Arjun Erigesi is in his early 20s. But the team did have some experienced campaigners too in Vidit Gujarati and Harikrishna Pentala. Over to the women's team, India had Divya Deshmukh as the lone teenager and was one of the strongest. Vantika Agarwal and Vaishali Rameshbabu are in their early 20s, and then they are guided by 2 seasoned players in Harika Dronavalli and Tanya Sachdev. Now, unlike other sports where age becomes a bit of a barrier after a certain point of time, chess players have a bit of a luxury. They do not need to retire as early, though of course age does take a toll, but that's still a while away for this bunch. All the more reason to call this phase as the golden generation, the golden period for chess in India.
Golden era to बोल सकते हैं क्योंकि gold तो आ गया है और we are winning with huge margins. So everybody was saying that we are one of the favorites, although USA was the top seed. But a lot of people were expecting a great performance from us. But I don't think they expected this level of performance. I think इसके बाद there'll be I think things will change. A lot of people will get into sport, जो youngsters हैं, because it acts as a motivation.
Yes, Vidit and the rest of the youngsters have indeed placed India high up there when it comes to chess, and it all started with Vishwanathan Anand being the lone poster boy, the lone ranger. There weren't many who could really match him and the accolades he earned. Now India has more than 85 grandmasters. India has 4 players ranked in the top 15 in the men's category. Arjun Erigesi, D. Gukesh, Anand of course, and Praggnanandhaa. And 4 in the women's top 15 rankings as well. That includes Koneru Hampi, D. Harika, Vaishali and Divya. The sport is on the rise in the country. The impact that this victory is bound to generate is far more deep-rooted, far more than what is apparent. The win will inspire many budding athletes to take up the sport. It'll motivate parents to encourage their kids to chase their dreams of becoming grandmasters, take up chess and become champions. And the list of role models to look up to is only increasing by the month. And not just that, the latest triumph will contribute commercially too, just the way cricket grew in India after the 1983 World Cup triumph.
This is a 1983 moment for Indian chess. 1983 started the commercial revolution for Indian cricket. The rise of India as chess's engine is already clear.
The 1983 World Cup was a seminal moment for cricket in India. Post that triumph, India started establishing itself as a dominant force in the sport. It led to commercial gains. More players started taking up the sport. Now India is the richest cricket board in the world. And just the way the 83 World Cup win paved the road ahead for men's cricket team to evolve and grow, the Chess Olympiad here, this win, will prove to be the cornerstone to the growth of both men's and women's chess in the country, leading to more support for chess and a proper infrastructure and procedural structure in place, removing one of the biggest barriers that Gukesh, for example, had to experience before his candidates win earlier this year.
Few years back, we also had a lot of financial problems, and it was even hard to travel for tournaments. But yeah, my parents made sure that it didn't affect me, and they took all the burden of it and pulled through. So I'm yeah, I can never really be I can never really repay them for what they have.
With the popularity of chess on the rise, many budding players will not have to go through that financial hurdle that Gukesh and his family experienced. The stage seems to be set now for the big showdown later this year, when D. Gukesh will take on Ding Liren over in Singapore. A win there will completely change the face of chess in the country. The sport will never be the same again.